I'm Matt Dery here at Pistons Media Day with the head man, John Kuester. Q, it's a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Talk about just this camp and how things will be different than maybe a year ago.
Well, I tell you this, the level of competition should be outstanding because we have a number of players in each position that can be very, very good, and so our intensity should be outstanding in our preseason practices.
People talk about the level of competition, John, but they talk about a log jam at the 2 and the 3. How do you work around that, or is it a good thing?
Well, I tell you this, the way you work around it is competing every day in practice, and I think that's the one thing that I'm real excited about, seeing how these guys perform day in and day out on our practice schedule, and then see what happens in the games. But again, we talk about having a tremendous amount of talent in certain positions. Well, these guys have to be diversified and play in a number of spots.
Take us back to last year and how frustrating it was for you. You didn't have healthy bodies, and when you did, maybe they weren't 100%, and you were losing basketball games. Do you remember having a year like that ever in coaching?
You know what? I tell you this, no one wants to go through the season that we did in regards to from a health standpoint, but it's like we said before, it's no excuses. We've got to now focus on this group and whoever steps on the court. We've got to make sure that we get the maximum potential out of them, and that's where we're excited about this group because we do have depth and we've got talent.
John Kuester, our guest here. Charlie Villanueva is a guy last year you butted heads with a couple of times, a couple of games he didn't play. You wanted him to be better on the defensive end. Anybody that sits courtside saw that. Yet he was the guy this summer here the most. What does that tell you?
Well, I tell you, we had a number of players, and Charlie was one of them, that stuck around the Detroit area and worked to get better and spend a lot of time with Arnie. And I think hopefully it'll pay dividends because I tell you, Charlie's done a wonderful job of really committing himself to our team.
Your relationship with him, what do you talk to him about? What do you tell him so that last year maybe it doesn't happen?
Well, one of the things is the actions that you have out on the court will dictate how much you get an opportunity to play. It's a matter of action as opposed to just talking about it.
In the middle, Greg Monroe drafted. Will he play right away at the 5? Does he come off the bench? What do you see his role being very early on? Because he's a guy that I know you want to have on the floor.
I tell you this, he's going to be a great player down the road, and he's somebody that be very interesting to watch as the preseason goes because he has a very high basketball IQ and he's capable of getting us a double-double situation, and very impressed with the progress for him, watching him during some of the pickup games. But this kid is going to be special before it's all over.
What are the goals for this team? Many people feel like this is a club that will not win a lot of games. Usually the Pistons are picked to be in the playoffs and be picked to finish highly. Right now you're sort of flying under the radar. Do you like that?
Well, I tell you this, I believe in this team, I believe in this organization, and I know that my expectations are high. But the thing that we have to be realistic about and understand is that we got to take each practice as we come, continually try to improve, and take each game. How good can we become? Because the people that are going to hold us back are ourselves.
Final thing, Q. Give us one guy maybe we won't recognize from last year that has, tipped the scales, been in the weight room. Is there a guy you're excited to see that will make a big change from last year to this year?
Well, I tell you, there are a number of those, and I'll get a better gauge of it because, we had a number of players in here during preseason, but a lot of guys have really put the time and effort into the season, so to pick one wouldn't be fair.
Q, you're always close to the best. I love it. Thanks, brother.